So good to see you in the house today. We are here with Honor Your Health. And who is here but your girl, Coach T, Terrell Sally Holloman of Living, Loving You Well. I'm a speaker, an author, and blood type lifestyle health coach. So if you don't know who I am, definitely take some time to follow me on the channels to get to know me a better. I am streaming live from Facebook, I'm streaming live from LinkedIn, and I'm streaming live from YouTube. So I appreciate a follow. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and share it, this message that we're going to talk about today to a friend or a colleague, one that you feel really can benefit from this conversation. So this is really interesting topic that we're talking about today. And you're going to say, hey, how did she come up with that? The power of forgiveness. I'm doing this power series. Last week was the power of no. If you missed that, definitely catch it. My girl Kim, Coach Kim, wasn't able to make it today, so I'm here flying solo, but that's all good because y'all gonna get the real stuff. You know that. So when you see my head going down, I have notes in a notebook. I am a little bit not up on the technology with doing it back and forth off my screen, and this really works for me. I will get there though. I will get there. So let's really talk about forgiveness. I really brought this up because I was in a session last night with my coach and Coach Kelly and the ladies, and we were talking about forgiveness. And I feel this is something that we don't talk a lot about in the health field so that people can really understand the connection. I feel a lot of times when I talk to other ladies or I'm just, in a session with a client, that they don't realize how your mind, body, and soul really connect together in what you're doing in your life. So I thought about this and I said, hey, why not talk about it? Why not bring some light to this conversation? Because I really feel that when we forgive, oh my gosh, the doors are open. You're breaking the chains. You know what I'm saying? That you are so much freedom in your life because you are not holding that weight. And I know that word can be double, double, what we're thinking about, but you're not holding that weight when you are having the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. Imagine that. Imagine that you are able to forgive that person. Okay, so I'm going to go into some of my notes and definitely I will check the comments on the different channels as we go. If you have anything, you definitely put it here and I'll catch it when I can. So, when you have, let's take it from this point, when you have unforgiveness, it creates havoc. There's frustration, there's mistrust, there's shame, maybe there's some guilt. How about us with the mom guilt? And I'll raise my hand for that because when my kids were little, I had this mom guilt. I was working 70-hour work weeks and I wouldn't see my little ones and I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. How am I going to work these hours and I don't get to see my kids? They're going to forget who I am. I had all of this guilt. I mean, the angst and the stress alone. There also could be wife guilt going on. Maybe something's going on in a relationship that you really feel guilty about, but you haven't been able to communicate it to your spouse. And it's just sitting there like elephant in the room, as we would say, right? How about body shame? How you doing, Sophia? How about body shame? So many women go through life feeling a certain way because they're ashamed of their bodies. And I can testify to that. There was a time when I was 100 pounds overweight, and I definitely felt miserable, embarrassed, and ashamed of my body. So these are the things that we're facing with the inner enemy, and it's not fun. It really is not fun when we don't forgive, uh, whether it's ourselves or another person. Because I'm thinking about when you have an argument with your spouse and it doesn't get resolved, aren't you angry? How about when you have a grudge against your in-laws? And I can definitely, how can I put that without sounding sarcastic about that? A lot of these things, like let's put it this way, a lot of these things I can relate to. Or unresolved conflict with your sibling. Maybe something happened a couple of years ago that you guys talked about. Now you're not even talking to each other for the last 3 or 4 years because something that happened and you did not resolve it. All of this is that unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. Now, all this unforgiveness can affect your health. You might not realize it, but it can. Okay, it can definitely do that. So let me share some point of references so you don't think I'm just talking to be talking. Now, the director of mood disorders, an adult consultation clinic in John Hopkins, her name is Dr. Karen Swartz. She said there's an enormous physical burden to being hurt and disappointed. I know we all can agree to that. Okay. There's this huge hurt that you feel because somebody wronged you. There's this huge disappointment because somebody didn't meet your expectations. And your body is sensing all of this. Your body is feeling all of this. Okay. And when you have chronic anger, when that person is always angry about something, every little bit you're defensive, or maybe even gets to a physical point where you're angry. It's that fight or flight mode that we get, and it puts wear and tear on your body. It actually can affect your immune system. It can increase your blood pressure. And then the Journal of American College Cardiology back in 2009 said it could even increase the risk of heart attacks. Of heart attacks. That's like, wow. Wow. When you think about you're not forgiving a person because they hurt you, they disappoint you, or maybe it's something really egregious, like this person killed a relative of yours, maybe a son, maybe you saw somebody get murdered in your family, maybe it's someone that um, committed suicide and you saw that and you had to find the body. It could be anything that's traumatic as that, that you just don't have this sense of forgiving and you now have unforgiveness in your body. But I'm telling you, your body is a magnificent machine and it feels all the emotions. That's the soul of the body. It feels all the emotions. And when that happens, your body takes a dive. That stress increases, the anxiousness increases. It's unbelievable how the body truly, truly works. Some people get increased depression, higher risk of diabetes. We already talked about this, higher risk of, even higher risk of heart diseases. There's other heart diseases beside a heart attack. Okay. But when you think about it, forgiveness does a lot for a person when you actually forgive. If you're the person who's going to extend it, you're actually releasing that chronic anger in your body that has that fight or flight response. You're releasing it, you're letting it go so that you can be free. Because when you have a couple of things I can share with you with forgiveness is one thing is having empathy for another person. How do we actually go and resolve this for ourselves? When we think about all the things in our life, and it could be something as little as someone hit you in the head trying to play, but you took it the wrong way, all the way to what I talked about, where there's a tragic situation and you see, murder. How you doing, Coach Angel and Coach Sevilla? Empathy is really the ability to understand and share the feelings for others. So when you're empathetic to another person, you're almost like putting yourself in their shoes. Regardless of what happened, you're putting yourself in their shoes. And when we take the opportunity to forgive, that's releasing a little bit more. Another word that comes up for forgiveness, what I was thinking about is compassion. When we have compassion for other people, it's having that concern for the sufferings or the misfortune of others. And I know it's not easy. We talk about forgiveness and unforgiveness. It's not easy to do because we are human. Let's face it, there have been plenty of times in my life where I was like, man, I got to really forgive this person. It is really difficult. Okay. It is really difficult, you know? And another thing, what we can do in terms of forgiveness is what I've done in my life is journal it out. Write out the story of what happened to you and then kind of reflect on it. How can I go about addressing this to that person if the person is still here? How can I really resolve this so that my heart is clear and not hurt by it any longer or disappointed or guilty anymore? Because these are words that can definitely bring that negativeness to you so that you don't resolve it and that the body starts decaying because of it. And it doesn't have to decay quickly. It could take time and get it done because that stress is a killer. Let me tell you, having anger in your body is a killer. Feeling hurt in your body is a killer. You know, depression, all of these things don't really help with regard to having unforgiveness in our bodies. Now, the next thing is prayer for all our believers. And even if you're not a believer, I'm still going to share this. Prayer. Now, get this, the International Journal of Psychology back in 2015 did a study. I was like, go ahead now. 151 participants, those said they did brief 3-minute prayers for their romantic partner, showed a stats showing that significantly decreased their motives to, I don't like to say retaliate, but that's the word they use, against their partner when offenses were made after the prayer compared to before. So really just saying is that, you know, prayer works. When you start praying for another person and really feeling it in your heart, because your heart posture is love. And when you have more love for that person, you're going to let go whatever transgressions have occurred in that relationship. Yes, Coach Angel said, I hear you find it easier to forgive when I surrender and when I'm not. Not so much. Girl, it's for real, for real. Okay? Forgiveness is nothing to, unforgiveness is nothing to play around with. And, for a lot of us, and I'm talking about myself too, it takes a while to really learn how to do that. Really learn how to forgive that person because that hurt is real, right? You're feeling that, but it also is affecting your health, the emotional, with all of these emotions I just shared with you. And then for the physical, when we talked about how your blood pressure goes up, or you have more risk of heart diseases and more risk of diabetes and depression and stress related ailments. Okay. Let's kind of look to a couple of the scriptures uh, to kind of talk about that, because when we talk about honoring our health, it goes beyond the basics. Now, the basics we know in terms of honoring health is like eat clean, you know, eat your vegetables, eat your fruits. I talk about eating for your blood type. You want to exercise 150 minutes during the week. And for people that are type O's, you want to get that high intensity in, just plugging for you guys, and sleep for 7 to 8 hours a night. Having great relationships with folks, really feeling good about yourself. Those are essential basics in terms of honoring our health. But we're going deeper here, right? Because it's really an active part of life when you forgive. That's an active thing to do. Yep. Sophia said, let go and let God. Amen, girl. Amen. But honoring your behavior towards another is loving yourself and loving your enemy. And sometimes loving your enemy is yourself. I did a reel this morning talking about don't beat yourself up now, because a lot of times we do that. We have done things in the past and we have not forgiven our own selves. So how are we supposed to forgive that next person and you didn't even forgive yourself? Let's start there. Let's start forgiving ourselves so that, for our hearts to heal. Forgiveness is crucial. It is crucial, guys. It is crucial. I'll say that again. For our hearts to heal, forgiveness is crucial. So let me share some verses, some scriptures that kind of points to that. First Peter, second chapter, verse 17. I believe this is the New King James Version. It says, honor all people, love the brotherhood, fear God, and honor the king. We want to honor all people. Yes, people have flaws, they have issues. We all do got something going on, but we're working each day. We're a work in progress, right? To get closer to the goal so that we can accept love from that enemy. Another one is in First Timothy. If you read that chapter, it talks all about honoring the widows, honoring the elders, honoring your masters. The 10 Commandments, right? Honor your father and your mother. These are simple truths that we can start doing just right today. And then the one that I got the basis of this for was because I was reading Colossians a couple of weeks ago. But Colossians 3:13, and I believe this is the NIV version. It says, bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Let me repeat that again. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance. That means you have a conflict, you haven't resolved it, y'all had an argument, you want to call it an argument, you had a spat, you cursed the other person out. I don't know what it was, but you did something that was a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Now, that's a pretty high price to pay for some of us. But I want you to really reflect on what's going on for yourself today in honoring your health so that you can have your heart healing, because forgiveness is crucial. So that you remove the stress, you remove the anger, you remove the hurt, you remove the disappointment. And when you forgive the other person, it's really for us to honor that behavior, to have compassion, to have empathy. And if you need to, which I need to, pray, because prayer does work and it will help you. You know, they did that study I thought was really amazing to show how many people, the 151 people, really found a difference in their lives when they prayed. Now, with all that's going on, life is too short. I feel personally, life is too short to hold a grudge. Life is too short to not forgive another person. But we can do that so easily, some of us, especially women. We can, a friend of mine said that last night, we can actually forgive everybody else. But when it comes to us, we're like a deer in headlights. Oh, I need to forgive myself. It starts with you, baby cakes. It starts with you. Forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You know, if you have to confess to the Lord or renounce stuff, do what you have to do in order for you to become a better version of yourself. So people can see the light in your eyes, so see the light in your walk, because forgiveness definitely affects your health. It affects it physically, like I told you, it affects it mentally, emotionally, and of course, we're talking about the spirit here, the Holy Spirit. It affects your soul, all of that. It affects it. So today, I want to talk about the power of forgiveness. So you need to get a hold of me. I'm going to actually put up here before we get off the show here that I have something. Oh, goodness. I have something coming up, and the doors are open for Shift Your Sugar 5-day challenge, which is coming in October. And there's a special for August. So grab the link here. It's on Living, Loving You Well, Shift Your Sugar. And we're going to go 5 days talking about shifting your sugar, because with a lot of us, including myself, sugar is in just not table sugar or the 5 pounds you see in the Domino sugar in the grocery store. It's a lot deeper than that. And we can find ways to shift it and also help our bodies um, become better. Then let's do that together. So the doors are open. Definitely grab your seat, because after August, the price will no longer be this price. Okay? No longer be this price. You need anything in terms of help, and let's connect with each other. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm here on YouTube also. Definitely follow me, give a share for this particular video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll be glad to work with you and really connect with you, because we know in this world, the power of forgiveness can definitely change your health for the better, right? So let's honor our health, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see you again next week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless. Have a great night. Bye-bye now.